Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a haul and review of Rebel Scum Con. Let's start off with the review. Let's start off with the good parts of Rebel Scum Con. I did have probably one singular bad part. So just the good, there were a good amount of vendors. I think if you were looking for Black Series, there was a good amount of figures in general. There was a good amount. They had something that I really struggled to find, and that's Star Wars cards. I actually bought my first single Star Wars card there because they haven't been at any other convention I've ever been to. So if you're into Topps Star Wars, there was one vendor there with Star Wars cards. So hopefully they'll be back for next year. They had pins. If you're into pins, they had a whole entire thing just like Star Wars Celebration. That was really cool. They had a bunch of patches. I had no idea how big patches were. There were so many. You just had to like go around and do random, like roll the dice, and if you get matching ones, you get the patch, like that sort of stuff. Like it wasn't really hard to get the patches, and they looked pretty cool. The pins on like pricing, they were all designed by Star Wars Joshua, and he priced them out. So if you went to a vendor and you bought them individually, then they would be $10. So like these were like all the designs here. So like this section right here would be the vendors, and each of those would be $10. And you just have to go to a vendor, give them $10. I think that was the main difference between this and Star Wars Celebration pins, because at Star Wars Celebration you have to do different things at each of the vendors in order to get the pins. And then the blind bags, you got two pins in one blind bag, and you had a chance at the chase pin. And they were $17, so that's like a little under $9, like $8.50 per pin. So it's cheaper to do the blind bag than to buy the individual pins. And then they had the staff pin. I actually did manage to get the staff pin. It wasn't very hard. You just had to go find someone. I think you just had to go find someone in an orange shirt and then trade with them, and most of them were willing to trade. There were limited edition pins, there was a lanyard, so like they had everything with here. I literally would love to go to a convention just because this guy's here, and the pin trading and stuff was so fun. I really enjoyed the designs and all of that. So that was a really big positive for me about Rebel Scum Con. All the people were really nice. Really fun autographs that I managed to get. They didn't have really much video gaming. If you're into video game stuff, they didn't really have that. They had one section outside of the main hall that had like 2 consoles, arcade cabinet, and a pinball machine, and that was it. That was all the video gaming. They had Star Wars Unlimited tournaments, I think, and just like people playing Star Wars Unlimited too. So if you're into that, they had that at the convention, and I'm assuming they'll have it next year, since that kind of stuff is pretty popular nowadays. Also, one of my favorite parts of the convention, aside from like the autographs that I got, was the swag trading. And that one, you had people, they just were set up on tables, and they had some people had a little amount of stuff, some people had a bunch of stuff. So it was mainly like patches. So if you're into patches and you just want to go and trade patches, they had a bunch of those, but they also had pins. So like if you didn't get so like next year, if Star Wars Joshua comes again and he does a
another different one of these pin collecting sets, then it's very, very likely that people will have those pins there and you'll be able to trade with them. Also, just seeing if someone, for example, I have the pins on my backpack, so you could just ask someone, obviously, if they would like to trade, if they had pins on their backpack or on a lanyard, something like that. But they had them at the trading area, and you didn't have to ask to be able to sit down at a table and just put out your stuff. You just did it. It wasn't really organized in any way. It felt organized, but I don't think it was. The people there were really nice. I went and a lot of them were just giving away stuff. Like, I think I got all of these patches from one person, and I drew some trading cards, so I gave that person one of my trading cards, but I'm pretty sure they would have just given me all of these for free if I didn't have anything to trade for them. But I tried to give everyone that I traded with something. I tried to not really take anything from anyone, but I was kind of surprised there was one person who just had like pins. They didn't have any backs on them, but he just had pins, and he was willing to just give them away. It was some really nice people there that apparently just trying to get rid of some stuff, I think, that they didn't have any interest in, but they knew other people would have some interest in it. So the swag trading was really fun. If you had any dupes, you could probably easily get rid of them because it's kind of hard to get all of the pins in one day, especially with the blind bags, because, well, the pins are not cheap, and if you get dupes, you have to pay another $17 to get another two pins. So that was really fun. Lots of pins, patches. They didn't just have pins from the convention, they also had pins from Star Wars Celebration. There's one person, he just had a whole table of just Star Wars Celebration pins. He had a little bit of pins from the convention, but it was mainly Star Wars Celebration pins. And that was kind of cool to see. I am going to go and talk about the negatives. I think I only had one negative, really, and that was the line that I stood in for Sam Witwer. I stood in 3 hours for a line for an autograph for Sam Witwer, and then I got out of the line, went and asked if I could get a refund, and then they said that they couldn't give me a refund right then and there, and that I could also not exchange my autograph ticket for some other autograph tickets, because the Sam Witwer one was pretty expensive, so that would have equaled the value of maybe 2 cheaper autographs. So what happened was then they told me I could email this certain email and they would get me sorted out and they would give me a refund. So then I was like, okay, I sent them an email and I was just like, okay, maybe the line will get shorter and I'll be able to just hop in and get the autograph. So we just waited. I checked on the line every once in a while. And then we came in and I saw that Matthew Wood's line was really short. So I was like, I think I want to get that one because that was one of the people I wanted to get autograph from. So I got an autograph from Matthew Wood. He was really cool. I talked to him for like 5 minutes because there was only like one person over there, and then that guy started talking to Matthew Wood as well. We were talking about the Muppets. So that was really fun, and I ended up getting the autograph, and it was okay. But I would recommend that you know when the person is there for the signatures, because I probably waited for an hour to an hour and a half So like half of the time was probably with Sam Whitwer not even there. He was there. He was over doing photo ops. So that led to me waiting in line for so much longer. So I would definitely, if you are going to Rebel Scum Con next year, I would totally just wait if you're going on Saturday only. If you're going on Friday or Sunday, I think the lines would probably be not as bad. Saturday's always just a crazy day for almost any convention. So yeah, if you're going on Saturday, definitely recommend that you wait until later. I would say like after 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock, I would say would be a good idea. And then you'll have a lot shorter lines. Also, don't get in line while people are having a photo op. You want to be in line while the line is decreasing. Or you just wait for the line to get short enough. So the main thing that I didn't like about Rebel Scum Con was these. You were, at least for most celebrities, required to get into a line to purchase an autograph. There wasn't required to be a line. Sometimes the line was pretty short, like maybe 3 to 5 minutes, but I didn't like that you had to wait in that line, purchase an autograph, and then you had to get into the line for the celebrity to get that signed. I've gone to GalaxyCon, and what they do is you get in line, you go up until you are going to get the autograph next. Like, you know that you're going to get an autograph. You then hand your money to the agent of the celebrity, and then you go over to the celebrity, get the autograph, and you're good. So you don't ever have a risk of not getting to the front of the line, which I really like. Like, not getting to the front of the line even when you paid for the autograph already. So you don't have that commitment, really. You can go whenever you want. You can decide to not to if you want to. I would really like to see them change that. I did see that some celebrities were taking payment at their table, which I liked, but I'm pretty sure Sam Whitwer was not. Matthew Wood was, but Sam Whitwer was not taking payments at his table, I'm pretty sure. So that was one thing I would really like to see them change, so that you can change your mind whenever you want, also depending on lines, because especially for the people going only one day, sometimes lines will change your mind. You don't want to wait in line for hours if you're only going to be there for one day and you want to experience all of the convention. You don't want to just get one autograph. So that's probably my main complaint. Everything else was really good. People there were really nice. All the vendors were great. They had some really cool artists, Star Wars Celebration artists, lots of pins and things. Would I recommend Rebel Scum Con? Definitely, yes, if you have the chance, please go to Rebel Scum Con. It's really fun. Just don't make the same mistake as I did. Pay attention to when celebrities' photo ops are. Don't sit in line while they're not even moving the line forward. And wait until later to get your autographs. That all only applies to Saturday, really, because Friday and Sunday probably weren't that bad, but they still kind of apply. So now for the haul. So I'm going to start with the pins that I got, and so these are all the Trooper World pins from Star Wars Joshua, and I think I got 2 blind bags, and then I went up and I bought the Captain Rex from one of the booths. And I think that was it. And then I got some from like the trade night. So I got a C-3PO, Commander Cody, the Luke staff pin. I was just waiting in line for that autograph, and someone walked up. I saw them with the staff pin, and then I traded for them. The Rex, so those are all my Trooper World. And then I got a Darth Maul R2 unit, which is another one of Star Wars Joshua's pins from the swag trading, because someone just happened to have old ones. And then I think this is a Disney pin, Jawa. I got that from the trade night as well. A lot of the ones here I got from the trade night. I think, yeah, these are the only two that I didn't get from the trade night. So all of these were not originally what I bought. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, I traded for all of these except for this one. All of these were not the original. So if you get pins that you don't want, there's definitely a way to get rid of them and get some other ones. And here's another look at all of the designs that were available. I did get a Captain Phasma, but I traded that one. And this is really cool. This is just like a print. They were giving it out. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm gonna like hang this up. When next event I go to that has Star Wars pins, I'll probably just take these off and make a display with that print. Then the patches that I got, which I don't think I really paid for any of these. So like if you like patches, they were just like basically giving them away for free. All those, they were pretty cool. And then I got this thing. I think it's a ribbon. I don't really know what you do with these. It looks like you stick them on your badge or something. I really don't know. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments like what this is all about. And then the autographs. Well, these were the two autographs that I got. This is the General Grievous one I got on a Lego Star Wars card, which was amazing. He was super nice. I talked to him for like 5 minutes because, like I said, there was no one in the line. He gave me a free quote, and he wrote all of this. Like, I only paid for a premium autograph, which is basically only this and the General Grievous, voice of General Grievous. But he wrote the 2025 and the Crush Them quote, which was really nice. And then this Darth Maul card that I drew. Originally, I thought the autographs looked kind of bad, but I actually kind of like it now. It's pretty sleek, and I liked it a lot. And then the Star Wars card that I bought was an autograph from Sebulba actor Louis McLeod. So that one's really cool. It was only like 25 bucks for this. I'm like, that's awesome. I probably would have paid way more to get an autograph from the actor. So yeah, that was everything. I'm just gonna pull everything onto here again. So yeah, that's everything that I got from Rebel Scum Con. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.